Anthony Harris, WTOS and New Jerusalem Church. You know, with new leadership comes new vision. And my question is, with the new mayor on the horizon, with what we have going on in the city, will that agenda remain or will it change? And that could be an unfair question, but I think you understand. And will the city council protect the progress of where we are as a people here in San Angelo?
That's one of those questions that I'm looking at Mindy when we talk about maybe having some issues with how it was posted as far as council answering. Here's what I know as a staff member. This council has continued to ask us to stay focused and stay on the direction that the council has set forth. A council is composed of 7 members without any one member having complete autonomy over the entire group. And they have to make decisions as a group and as a unified body. And so there may be some change. But when you still look at it, there's 6 people on the council today. There's 1 position vacant. And what I've seen in other communities is, can one position drastically change the outlook of a council? I haven't seen that yet. And so what I would tell you is I, at this point, haven't seen a change in direction from the council other than they're actually telling us to move faster. I had an extensive conversation with each one of them, and one day I was talking to Councilmember Hogue and a very similar discussion with Councilmember Farmer. And they said, we don't want to see you change. What we want to see, what we want to see from you is that you continue moving as aggressively as you have been and maybe even faster. And so I can't say that anything's changed. I've seen it from Councilmember Morrison and Councilmember Silvas and Councilmember Adams. Keep plugging away. And so I see that it's continued to date. Now, from my perspective, I'm charged with bringing information to council. My perspective is not changing. The staff is still going to continue bringing the same issues that they're bringing forward and still working on the same issues. Our perspectives don't change based on the political changes. I mean, we're trained administrators, and we're going to bring the things that we think we need to bring to the council. And so from my perspective and the staff's perspective, I don't see that changing at all. But I would tell you probably need to talk directly to the council members, and I would wish that they could answer this, but again, I think this is one of those things from a posting issue that I don't want to get them in trouble either. So they're here, and you can talk to them directly when we finish. I would definitely encourage that. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
My name is Lee Pope. I have a question on kind of behalf of a grievance. I don't know whether the gentleman is here or not that's over the code enforcement. What is it, 35, 32? I don't got old. I don't keep up with all that now. What is it? Abandoned cars, abandoned trash, etc. Yes, I don't know whether he's here or not. But I would like for you to check and see. I spoke to him about it, and then he spoke to me back 2 times about, well, drive around and give him some addresses and etc. And I've been too busy to do that. And plus, I said to myself, he's driving around looking at him just like I am. I had a 50-mile Chevrolet and like a 709 West 16th. Nothing back there but a few red ace beds with it. And he stayed on me and stayed on me until I put up that round there, which I agree with this program wholeheartedly. Right. I don't like to see junk standing around. And he said to me at one time that, well, maybe more people would want to move in the neighborhood if we clean it up, whatnot. So a few people have been pressed to do that. But at the same time, and that'd been over a year ago, some 2 cars right across over on the next street from me, finally, I guess they got word of one of them, but the other still standing there in the same spot. He said if they would go forward or go backwards, have no problem. One over 17th Street been sitting there with a flat on it at the same time that I was forced to change minds and cover it up, which I agree. I covered it up and finally we moved it from there. And I began to drive over town, just not looking, even up 19th Street, way up going on out, whatever that direction is at east. And I saw her cars there. I went over other parts, many parts of town. I've been seeing them parked and trash. And he stayed on me with the threat of the last point I found, because I was busy and the time to get it built right then. I told him I will do it. I agree. And but it was a 50-mile Chevrolet.
Okay.
And some of those other rat traps are still sitting right where they are, won't go forward or back, because all I'm asking is have some equal to and no partiality. Right. One lady had one commode lying in her backyard. It's near the freeway where the property is about to go, going up. They sent her a letter about that, one commode, and further over, straight down, every weekend there's more trash, and during the week too, for families have more beer cans and other trash right out for having a barbecue and beer every Saturday night. And the backyard looks terrible. And they sent her a letter for one commode. Old commode had been taken out of the house because it's near the freeway. Okay.
Yep.
Look like you're going to kind of call it to a point of like non-taxpayer and et cetera, and take that property and whatnot and go right on to the city and et cetera. And that happened in another city I just had to deal with a few weeks ago.
Okay. What I'll talk about is that from a code enforcement perspective, we try to be as equitable as we possibly can. One of the things I can say is the number of calls that we're getting now from a lack of enforcement are actually going down, and the calls that we're getting are saying that we have too much enforcement. So that is a positive. Exactly. And what I will tell you is it is my intent that we have an equitable process. Sean Lewis, who talked a while ago about the dangerous building program, actually oversees code enforcement too. And I'll work with Sean for him to look into this issue. And if you'll get with him and give him your phone number, we want to get the specific areas, because I'll tell you what I do and what Elizabeth does and what Rick does when we get these complaints. We go in and we meet with the staff and we basically say, show us the records, show us what you're doing in that neighborhood, because we want them to prove that they are being equitable to the entire community and that they're handling those cases evenly. So we hold them to a high level of scrutiny when we get these types of calls, because we want to make sure that it is an equitable process, and more importantly, we're treating all areas of the community in the same way.
Yes, my name is Geraldine Kennedy with WTOS, representing Byway Ministries, which in the Blackshear community. I wanted to ask about the pest control. You spray the neighborhoods for mosquitoes, and in our area the mosquitoes are real bad. I don't know about the other areas, and I've only seen the machine come in our area once.
Okay.
And I haven't seen them in the area.
I'm going to let Shane answer that, and then I had a council member who wanted to make a comment.
In the mosquito pest control program that we have two machines that rotate out at night. Currently, we only have one licensed operator. The licensing through the state of Texas is quite drawn out, and it's a fairly hard test. It's not really easy to pass. So we're trying to work with employees, get more people tested, get them in the program. We only apply pesticides at night, but we're working trying to improve the program. We do have a list of all the streets in town that we go through every night. The guy drives every street in town somewhere, out at the lake or in Lakeview or Bluffs, anywhere in town. And but if you have a specific complaint, you can call our office. Yeah, 657-4206. I don't ever call myself. You can call our office, and we will see if we can get somebody out there sooner.